Hey guys, welcome back to the channel, and another driving video in Orwin, my Mk2 Cavalier, gold one, and a bit of an update on Trevor, who is my 1998 Vauxhall Frontera. For anybody who's been watching my videos, you'll know that I discovered that my fuel tank holder, guard, metal bracket thing that holds it on was completely rotten. So I've just been over to Barnsley and I'm just driving back to Sheffield, back home, after picking up a new fuel tank guard for the Frontera. But the one I've actually bought is offering Isuzu Trooper. Now, anybody who's got a Frontera, if you have got a rotten fuel tank guard, I've discovered through a little bit of research and talking to people that you can actually use the one off of a Trooper, but you do have to modify it, because one of the brackets will bolt straight on, but the other bracket you have to chop off, and you have to weld on the bracket off your original fuel tank guard. So what I'll be doing when I've got the two next to each other, when the weather's a little bit better, obviously not today because it's going really dull and dark and miserable. It's only 6:15, but look how dark and miserable it is, obviously because of how wet and rainy it is. Probably going to be Monday. It's Saturday as I'm recording this. Tomorrow's supposed to be a crappy day, chucking it down with rain as well, so it'll probably be Monday. I might do it tomorrow if the weather, if you have a little bit of a break in the rain. I'll put the two next to each other so you can see a comparison, and I'll show you what modification needs to be done, and then as I do the modification I'll do videos to illustrate what it is that you need to do to be able to convert it for use on the Frontera. So the reason I've gone down that route is because, again, talking to people on the forums, the groups on Facebook, they've said that trying to get hold of a genuine one made for a Frontera is very, very difficult, because they all rotted in exactly the same way. I mean, like for example, mine has only done just over 42,000 miles from new, so even with that low mileage it has still rotted. It's hardly been used. It's only done between 1,000 and 1,500 miles a year for its entire life. But even though it's only done that low mileage, the fuel tank cradle, fuel tank protector bracket, whatever its official name is, has still rotted to the point where it's split and the fuel tank was starting to drop. So so Frontera ones are virtually impossible to get hold of. So the Trooper one is apparently made from much better grade steel, and they last a lot better. Again, when I get home, not today but probably tomorrow when the weather's a bit better and hopefully I get a little bit of nicer, brighter sunshine, I'll show you it. It's a bit weird driving over to this part of Barnsley because I've not been over here for ages. It's not far from my house. It only took me half an hour to get over to where I've been to collect it, and obviously half an hour back. But it's just one of them areas that I've not been to for ages, even though it's so close to home. I used to come over here all the time because I used to work in Barnsley. You guys who know that I've worked in the car trade for a long time, I used to work in Barnsley at a local car dealership. I used to have a girlfriend over here as well, who I ended up marrying, so she lived not far from here, so I used to come over to visit her when she lived over here, before obviously she moved in with me after we got married. Long story, but then we split and she moved back over this way, not far from here again, and I used to come over and see her because we tried to make it work again, but it didn't work ultimately. But anyway, that's another story. Back to cars. So that's the next little update on Trevor. I'm now off work for a week, and I'm not back at work until the 31st of August, which will be the Tuesday after the bank holiday. It's 2021 as I'm recording this, so I'm just starting to steam up a bit. Let me just put my fan on a little bit. I think I've gone and got myself in the wrong lane because I ain't been over this way for ages. I forgot which lane I need to be in. Yes, I do believe I'm in the wrong lane. Oops. That's twice I've done that at this roundabout today. I've got myself in wrong lane. Twice I've gone and done it. See if anybody's going to let me come across. And they did do. Thank you very much. It's a daft roundabout, that. It's difficult to know which lane you want to be in, because I was in the lane for going straight on, which I was going straight on, but that one actually goes to the first and the second junctions, not the third one. Third turn off. So the third turn off you need to be in the middle lane, but again, I've not been over this way for such a long time, I just totally forgot which lane I needed to be in. Oh well. So anyway guys, yeah, so what I might do is I'll keep the video going, and it can be just a little bit of a driving video to enjoy a ride in Orwin. Open my window a little bit so you can hear the exhaust again, and I'll shut up for 5 minutes. Okay, 5 minutes has gone really quickly. Maybe not so good because I'm stuck behind a little Vauxhall Cavalier, or is it the Suzuki version? I'm not sure. Driving like Miss Daisy. But yeah, in terms of project updates, I will be doing more updates this week, because as I say, I've got the full week off work, and the weather Monday onwards looks to be pretty decent. It's showing sun all week, so I'm hoping it's going to be nice. Obviously I can't get much done on my cars when the weather's like this. I could do a little bit of work on my Cav convertible because that's in the garage, so I could do a bit on that regardless of weather, but all the others are outside, so I really need fine weather to be able to do anything on them. It's okay having a garage, but if you can't get the cars in the garage to work on them, what's the point in having a garage? You won't believe it were August, would you, with this weather? It's terrible. Crappy English summer. Let's just hope that next week's better. As some of you guys know as well, I had a problem with Orwin with the clutch pedal. Obviously I've managed to get that fixed. So for anybody who doesn't know, basically the clutch pedal, the bracket is held on under the dashboard with 2 nuts and a bolt. And the clutch had been feeling weird for ages. It had been really weird feeling, and I couldn't get my head round why it felt so strange, and I kept having to adjust the biting point. And I thought to myself, why on earth is the biting point keeping moving? Because there didn't seem to be any rational reason for the biting point to keep moving. Because under normal circumstances the biting point wouldn't move, would it? I'm just going to overtake this bus. Not staying stuck behind the bus simply because on the next section of road it's uphill and really quite steep, and if I stay behind the bus I'll be stuck behind it all the way up the hill. So yeah, that's one advantage with just having that little bit of power when you need it. Like you saw then how quickly and easily it was to overtake. It is nice having that little bit of power when you need it to be able to overtake. So yeah, the bus would be going this way and I'd be stuck behind it. Wet roads. Feeling a bit greasy today, these roads. Especially under trees, because you get tree sap on the road as well. And I've got decent Michelins as well. I've caught that makeup. It's quite a fun little bit of road, this. This bit here on the right hand side, I don't know if you can see just there, see where the wall's been knocked through. That's a common spot where people like to crash. Alright, they probably don't like to crash, they probably didn't intend to crash, but it is a dodgy little bend, and it's amazing how many times that wall has a hole knocked through it. One of my mates actually crashed on that bend himself years ago. He had a Peugeot 306D Turbo, and he was going around that bend too fast. The back end gave way, just lost grip, he span, he went through the wall and he ended up on his roof, the other side of the wall in the trees. I always remember that every time I drive past that. That's what you get for driving too fast. But my cousin did exactly the same thing in a D Turbo as well, 306D Turbo. He was in front of me driving along. I was behind him in my Audi 80 Sport. I had a 1991 Audi 80 Sport, and I was driving behind him, and he put his foot down to burn me off, and he was going quite quick. Came to this roundabout, went through the traffic lights, went to turn left to go up onto the motorway, and his back end just slid. It just lost grip. The front end of his car hit one of the big motorway lampposts. It clean ripped off the entire front of the car. The car span, the battery ended up flying the opposite direction into the middle of the roundabout, and he was left, I think he did a full 360 thinking about it, because he ripped the front end off and did a complete spin. Because he ended up facing the yeah, I think he did do a full 360 thinking about it. And I said the front end of the car was just completely torn off like a tin can. Imagine getting the front of the car from one side and pulling it right across to the opposite side so it was facing the wrong direction. That's what it did. Anyway, it was okay, it was a bit shook up. He wasn't injured or anything. But yeah, it's not nice witnessing an accident at the best of times, or especially when it's your own cousin, your young baby cousin. The last thing you want is to see an accident, never mind when it's your own family. So I had to have gone a bit faster then, I could have got through lights. Oh well, never mind. I'm not in any rush particularly, even though I overtook that bus. Ah, lovely, lovely summer. Beautiful summer weather, beautiful, isn't it? Da, 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 da. I do tend to do this quite a lot, don't I, guys, where I just randomly talk while I'm driving car. I hope you enjoy my little stories and my little tales. You obviously must do, because if you've got this far, then you've carried on listening. So I do like to say thank you to anybody who has got this far, because it shows that you're actually listening to me. Even though I'm just like randomly talking random stuff. But yeah, as I say, I'm going to do more car videos, I'm going to do more project videos, I'm going to do more updates as they come. So stay tuned, please subscribe, click the notification bell, and avoid missing any new content. Used to be a 60 limit this road, and then they reduced it to a 50, and they put the average speed cameras on it, so you can basically get to 50 and then just sit at 50, and that's as fast as you can go. It's annoying because there's no reason at all why this road can't still be a 60 limit, but it is what it is. People kept having accidents, people kept driving like idiots, and unfortunately that has the knock-on effect of reducing the speed limit for everybody else. But to be fair, it probably would be pointless being a 60 limit these days, because they've got traffic lights at the end of the road now, whereas they never used to have traffic lights. You used to just get to the roundabout and be able to pull straight out onto the roundabout, but you can't now. These days you get to the roundabout and you have to stop at the lights. If anybody who's watched my Mk2 Cavalier driving videos, you see the hill right in the distance. You can just see it in the fog right up in the distance. That is the hill where I drove up, and where I pulled in at the side of the road to get views of the car. That's where I was, up on that hill, just so that you know. Anyway guys, I'm going to leave it there for now, because there's not a lot more I can say for now. So thanks a lot for watching, and I'll see you next time. Cheers guys, bye.